I know for me, and for a lot of you out there as well, mornings are just better with a cup of coffee. And cups of coffee are at their best when they're enjoyed outdoors. Welcome back to Dicking Around Outdoors, and today we're going to take a look at something that I think has the ability to up your camp coffee game. If you've watched our channel for any length of time, you know for our extended trips, we generally take instant coffee. And we do that basically because it's easier and it takes up less room and it doesn't generate any trash. One thing that we try very hard to do when we are camping is to keep the trash to a minimum. If we're with a group, and you've seen me do a video on this, and if you haven't, I'll show my percolator video up here. We take a percolator so that we can brew a big pot of coffee for the group so that everybody can enjoy it together. The one thing that we haven't done is sort of that intermediate, try to brew a really good cup of coffee when we're on the road. We sort of kept that as, it's just not what we do when we camp. But this may be about to change, and let me show you why. We have owned this Aeropress for quite some time. This is not a video about an Aeropress. It's very good for making a cup of coffee. It's not good for making a cup of coffee for two people, at least if you want to have them done at the same time. And more importantly, we didn't, or at least I didn't want to have to take filters and throw away a filter for every cup of coffee we made. So the Aeropress hasn't gone with us. Now recently, we came across these permanent Aeropress filters, and I know Aeropress makes them as well. We picked these up on Amazon from a company called DACLL, and they're basically 3 sizes of permanent filters. So now we've solved the issue of trash, and I will put a link to all of this below in the comments. But let's look at the item that I think is going to allow us, possibly in conjunction with the permanent filters, to use the Aeropress when we go camping. So you may have seen online and on a lot of YouTube overland channels, people using the handheld coffee grinders. Now you can get a really good one that costs you well over $150 for the gold standard, or you can get a really cheap one. And for me, the last thing I want to take when I go camping anywhere is something that's made cheaply that could fail. Now I know everything could fail, but I want to try to minimize that risk. Recently, we found on Amazon this pack from DACLL. I don't know if you pronounce that DACLL or if it's just DACLL. But what this is a hand grinder that I think is a sweet spot between the cheap ones and the real expensive ones. All right, what comes in the included carry case with this coffee grinder? First off, you have the instructions, which I will get to in a minute. You have a hex wrench that is supposedly there to allow you to dismantle the unit for cleaning. You have an included cleaning brush, the handle, and the unit itself. All right, the DACLL coffee grinder is made out of aluminum. So the body and the casing is all made out of aluminum. Everything on the inside is nicely machined. And the grinding gear is stainless steel. The handle simply slips on and is ready to go. And one of the features about this unit that is nice is that the grind adjustment is on the outside. On a lot of the grinders, there's a knob on the inside of the coffee basket that you have to turn, and particularly on the cheaper ones, those quite often move while you're using the machine. They don't have any locking detents, so your grind is constantly changing. On this one, you won't have that. Now, I will say that adjusting it is not the easiest thing in the world. It hasn't broken in yet. This is brand new, but you can do it, and you can adjust up to 20 different positions. So that's kind of nice, and once you adjust it, it's not moving. The other thing about this versus a cheaper hand grinder that I have that I use at home for espresso is this chews through the coffee beans. On that other unit, it'll take over 2 minutes to fill the basket. On this one, it's quite quick, and the basket itself is a 30-gram basket, so it holds a fair bit of coffee. So let's take a quick grind and see how this thing works. All right, so the hopper is full of beans. I've set this at level 5, so it's fairly fine grind. All right, so let's see how long it takes us to grind through that basket. I've set my stopwatch, and let's go. You get a lot of leverage with this handle. It runs very smoothly. It's comfortable in the hand. And there we go. 45 seconds and we have cleared this hopper. As you can see, the beans are gone. So this really did work through these beans in no time. And there we have our grind. As you can see, we have a nice consistent grind there. So this is ready to go in the Aeropress. So let's talk about the unit itself quickly before we move on. This unit in the case with all the accessories weighs 1 pound and 6 ounces. The unit itself is 15 5/8 ounce, so just under a pound. So it's a substantial item. It's not made cheaply. It's 2 inches in diameter and it is 5.9 inches tall. So that'll give you an idea of the dimensions. It does come with the case, so that's nice. Comes with the cleaning brush, and as you can see, there is some debris down at the grinder that you want to wipe away when you're done. And it is priced at $75. Now, you may say, Dick, $75, that's a lot. And it is. I won't deny that. It's much cheaper than sort of the benchmark grinder, which has a couple features. This doesn't. And it's a heck of a lot more expensive than some of the cheaper grinders. But what this does is it fits an extremely happy medium of being exceptionally well made. And it is, well, let me just show you the inside of this and how it's made, because I think that helps set it apart from other cheaper units. All right, the way you take this apart, and it recommends doing this once a month to clean it, is there's one screw at the bottom that you have to take off. This wrench is designed to open this and clean it. It doesn't fit. We cannot get this into the nut and open it up. It will not go in. So we have taken our own set of hex wrenches, and specifically the 2.5 metric wrench. And that's what we're going to use to open this up. So let me get it open and I'll show you why I think this is built so well. All right. So while watching this video, you may actually be looking at Amazon right now and saying, well, Dick, there are a lot of aluminum-bodied coffee grinders online. Why is that one worth $75 when a lot of these other ones are worth $40? Well, let me show you. We have the unit apart, and what you will see is on the shaft, there are these small bearings. And these roller bearings are something that you're not going to see in the cheaper units. These allow the shaft to spin very effortlessly and without wearing out. So these are sort of premium bearings. On the cheaper ones, you're not going to see roller bearings, you're going to see bushings. Those bushings over time wear out, and as they wear out, they allow the shaft to move back and forth. And as that shaft moves back and forth, you lose leverage on your beans, and the wear gets worse and worse all the time. So this unit is built very well with proper components, and that is what's going to make this the $75 unit and not the $40 unit. So I think internally, this is an extremely well-built machine. All right, the unit's back together. Once you do it one time, it becomes second nature. It's very easy. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan of this grinder. It grinds quickly, it grinds efficiently, good grind size, and well made. So what's not to love about this unit? Well, the unit itself is super well made. First off, as I've said, the wrench that they give you to work on it is not the right size. It doesn't work. So that's a miss. The second thing is these instructions are effectively worthless. It basically says to clean it, just turn the screw. Troubleshooting is make sure the top lid and the above the bearing is tight. If it's loose, try to rotate it. So that's basically it. And then it has what's in here. The instructions on how to use it are 4 pictures. Now, granted, a coffee grinder is not that complex, but it would be nice. And then they give you 2, what do they call it, UPC? QR codes, yes. And then they give you 2 QR codes. One is supposed to be for their website, for details, and the other is to activate the warranty. Neither one of these takes you to any website. When I've tried to use it, it just takes you to Never Never Land. And when you go onto their website, I can't, maybe I'm old, I can't figure out where to go to register this for the warranty. Now they do have an email, and I believe the warranty on this is 30 days. I can't imagine it not lasting for quite a long time, but the warranty is only 30 days, and it looks like to lodge a warranty claim, you must have to email them on the email that's here. Now, do I expect to need that? No. But it is something where if you spend more for an equivalent quality or more features, you're probably going to have a better back office, better customer service. So that's the downside to this unit. But overall, I think this is a great unit. I've now got coffee for my morning espresso. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. And if you are a coffee person, I think this would be a great addition to your camping kit. Even at home, if you pull a shot of espresso from time to time or want to use an Aeropress when everyone else is sleeping, you don't want to fire up the home grinder, this is a great option. It's going to allow us to now take our Aeropress camping along with our DACLL filters. And again, I'm going to link all of this down below. And if you like this type of content, please take a moment to hit that sub button in the lower right-hand corner, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with all of your like-minded friends. And as always, take care, and we'll see you outdoors. I might even make you a cup of coffee.